Hello guys, great that you're back again on my channel here on JNM for Game Dev Tutorials. I have some news for you. Not only a new microphone and a new t-shirt, I promised to do Unity and C# programming tutorials, and this is the next one. I will demonstrate how to use events with C#, and we create a simple project together, and I will explain you how you can use them and for which purpose. So have fun watching this. Okay, this is a tutorial about events. What are events? Events are a kind of mechanism to notify a component that something happened. Okay, let's implement a simple scene. Perhaps we need a player and a plane and a kind of display to show that something happened to the player. So what usually happens to the player? The player has, let's say, a kind of health system, decreasing health points, and when a point is when we have to decrease the health points, then we will throw an event. Okay, and another component, let's say a health display component, will register for this event, and then it can display the updated health points. Okay, let's import a standard package for the character. I want to add an FPS player, and this FPS player will have a script, and this script has a simple, very simple health system with some points that decrease, let's say per second, 1 point. And then we will have a panel, and in this panel there is a text, and this text will display the updated health points. Okay, here's our player. Now let's test this. Just run the scene. Let's see if this FPS controller is working as I expect this. Here it is. Yes, this looks good. Let's test this scene. Okay, we can move. Great. Nothing more. That's all we need. That's okay. Great. Now this FPS player per default has this lock cursor. I will remove this because I want to see my cursor. It's not important right now. And now let's add a panel. Simple UI panel. Canvas is added automatically when I add the panel. Now I resize this panel, and this is for displaying the health points of our player. Just like that. That's okay. Okay, let's say we need an image for the player. Very simple one. I will just create it with Photoshop. Will just take a few seconds. Just a head and a body. Only an icon that we see that this is the player. Let's create a new image. 512 pixels should be okay. No, not inches. Pixels. It's a bit too pixels. Okay. And now let's create this very fast. I fill the background with black that I can see what I'm doing here, and then in white the new selection add a simple head, the white fill. Let's select white color. Okay. And now a simple body. I just want to have some UI because I need this. Sorry. Okay, let's fill this also in white. Okay, and then let's cut the lower part away, and okay, that's good enough. That's okay. Now save this as PSD, and after that we will transform this in Unity into a sprite and display it in the UI image on the left top corner in our canvas. I always create a new folder for this UI stuff. It's a habit. I will do this also. Call it player UI. Alright. And now back in Unity we see the new folder and the new PSD. Change this to sprite and press apply, and here it is. And now we drag and drop this new image in this image component, and here it is. Okay, next component. We need a text. So let's add UI text, and this text will display our health points. A little bit bigger. Yeah, that's okay. Align it. Health. Yeah. Okay. So let's just save this scene. The UI stuff is done. Very simple UI stuff. Because this is a programming tutorial, not an UI tutorial. But we need some UI for testing. Let's run it. Oh, I forgot to align. The align should be the left top corner, top left. That's better. Okay, that's enough for our test. That's enough for our UI. Great. Now for the scripts. The really important part. Okay, let's add the scripts folder, and into this scripts folder create a C# script. The first one for the health panel. Let's call it health display, and now the second one for the player. Call this player. Okay, now we assign the scripts to the appropriate UI components. The player for the FPS controller and the health display to the panel. Yes, to the panel. Okay, and now let's open the script and write some C# code with events. Will be very interesting. Let's open up Visual Studio and write our logic. First one is the player script. As I said, our player needs some health points. Always write commands. It's important so that you understand your code in a few years later. Okay, private integer health points, a private member, and we initialize it to 10. So when we start the scene, the player will have 10 health points. Okay, and in the start we will add a method which is repeatedly calling another method, This can be done with a call invoke repeating, and we will repeatedly invoke a method called decrease health, or dec health as I call it here, and this is called each second in a loop. And in this decrease health method we will decrease the health points by 1. This is just one line, and this we write health points minus minus. This will decrease the health points by 1. And this is the change in this player component, which I want the other components to know about. And at this time and at this point in the script, I will call or raise an event, and we have to define it in a public variable. It's called public event, and now we use the class event handler. This is in the system namespace. We have to add the system namespace, and we have to give this event handler a name. Call it, let's say, health update, or health update is okay. Okay, but the first thing I do is to introduce a property for our private health points, because when I react on this event, I want to know how many health points the player has, and therefore I need a public getter property called health points. And now I will raise this event, and this can be done like that. First I check if someone has some script or some component has registered for this event. This is the line if health update not equals null, and then I raise it. This means I call this event with this line health update this and event args empty, and that's it. And now for our health display script. In this script I want to display how many health points the player has. So I have to register to this event, to the health update, in my script. First I will define a member for my text box and switch back to Unity and assign the text component I added to this member text box, so that I have my UI component text box ready to display the text in the script. And now I have to register for this event. Okay, I missed something. I have to define the members and also the event as static, because I don't want to instantiate a player member variable, but perhaps I will explain this in the later tutorial. For this one, just remember, define these methods and these events and the properties as static. Okay, I check also if the health points are greater than 0, and if they are 0, then I cancel this repeating method, because we have 0 health points. We don't want to notify anyone anymore, because the player is already dead. Okay, and now for registering the event. Okay, I see I have to define the event also as static. I do this now, switch back to my player, CS. Yep, I missed this, sorry. Okay, define this as static. And now we should see our event health update. Here it is. Okay, and now a cool trick. Write the plus equals and then press just the tab key one time, and then the method is displayed, and then again the tab key, and Visual Studio is creating the event handler. Very handy, very cool. Okay, here's our handler, and in this handler we can get our player and display the amount of health points in the text component. Because now we are notified something has changed, the health points did decrease. Okay, so write the text here. Health. I think I used the string dot format. That's a cool method to format our text. Player dot health points, and we're done. And now we can start the scene and test our event. So let's see. Play. And it's counting. You see? Okay, it works. So perhaps we can enhance this a little bit. Because if we have 0 health points, we might as well display that we are dead. So let's do this. Add a new variable called health text and check how many health points we have. And if we have 0 health points, we display dead, and otherwise the string here below. Copy this, and that's it. Okay, last test, count down from 10. And now we are dead. Okay. So I hope you learned something about programming and events. I think I will improve this tutorial a little bit and add a second one, because in events there are also event arguments you can use, and we can rewrite this player script into a singleton. And what's a singleton, I will tell you in the next tutorial, so please subscribe to my channel. Stay awesome, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask here in YouTube in the comments. I will try to answer this if I can.